Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a future, right? Galaxy-spanning governments trying to handle these unruly planets.
Right.
And being a diplomat, it's less about talking, more about just, well, staying alive.
Yeah, survival skills are key.
And assassination is somehow like a standard political tool. It's wild.
Totally wild.
So get ready for a deep dive into this high-stakes galactic adventure.
Today, yeah, we're plunging into Lone Star Planet, H. Beam Piper, and John J. McGuire. And we're going to pull out some really surprising insights.
About what specifically?
Galactic diplomacy, for one. Big culture clashes. And how this one, very clever and frankly very dangerous guy, handles a mission that seems just completely impossible.
So our goal today, what is it for you, the listener?
Our goal is helping you grasp the layers here, the political maneuvering, the personal danger, all triggered when, a single article and some quick thinking change absolutely everything.
Right, and this deep dive is really for you if you want to get the essence of these complex situations fast.
Yeah.
We're looking at how a diplomat who is basically set up to fail.
A pawn, really.
Exactly, a pawn turns into this major player, forces a whole galactic power to sort of bend to what he wants.
It's quite the transformation.
So let's meet him. Stephen Silk, diplomat, consular service.
And he's known for being frank, analytical, maybe a bit too honest in his writing.
Ah, hence the nickname Machiavelli Jr.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And his colleagues on Luna, the capital, they greet him with this fake applause, joking about his promotion to ambassador.
So right away, you get the vibe this isn't good news.
Oh, absolutely not. He's immediately called into this pretty chilling meeting. 3 big shots from the Solar League.
Oh, where are they?
You've got Secretary of State Gopal Singh, Secretary of Aggression Rudolph Klemp, what a title, right?
Secretary of Aggression, okay.
And Security Coordinator Natalenko. And they reveal his banishment to Capella IV, which everyone calls New Texas. It's not really a punishment.
It's a mission?
A mission, yeah, with 3 objectives that just sound impossible.
Okay, lay them on us. What are they?
First, investigate the murder of the previous ambassador, Silas Cumshaw, and somehow restore the League's prestige.
Tough start. Number 2.
Convince the New Texans, who are fiercely independent, to join the Solar League.
Okay, good luck with that. And third.
Forestall or at least expose an impending invasion by the Zasraf. They're this canine-evolved alien race.
Wow. That's a lot for one guy.
It's an insane list. And Silk, he feels it right away. Something is just off.
What were those early signs, the things that made him think, hang on a minute?
Well, first, there's Natalenko, the security guy. He has this unsettling little laugh, this tittering, and a really high voice when he's talking about the mission. Adds this layer of just dread.
Creepy. What else?
Then there's the personal secretary they assign him. Haughty Ringo. Seems nice enough, maybe not the sharpest tool in the shed.
But what?
But Silk spots the bulge. An 11mm Army automatic under his arm. Pretty obvious.
So not just a secretary.
Not even close. Haughty basically admits it. Says his job is to show you the way around New Texas and see you don't get in no trouble.
Which Silk reads as?
Bodyguard / minder / maybe even executioner from Natalenko's department. He immediately thinks, okay, they're setting me up to be the next martyr.
So he lands on this planet, New Texas, already suspicious, already feeling like he's in a trap.
Exact.
To really get the danger, we need to understand this place, right? What is New Texas?
Oh, it's something else. Settled way back around 2100 by Texans from Earth looking for total independence after World War IV.
And their economy is based on...
Super cow meat. These things are enormous. Think nuclear steam locomotive-sized. And mean.
Locomotive size. How do they even manage them?
Tanks and aircraft. Seriously, that's their herding technique.
Okay, that's different. And that shapes their society.
Completely. That whole industry, the tech, the danger. It's the backbone.
And politically. You mentioned anarchy tempered by assassination. What does that even mean?
It means it's a grotesque parody of democracy, as the book puts it. Power isn't really with the government. It's with the big landowners, the ranchers.
The ones with the tanks and planes for herding.
The very same. Those double as private armies. So if the central government tries to get too strong, well, the citizens can push back. Hard.
So political freedom through the constant threat of armed uprising.
Pretty much. It's a unique system. Keeps the government on a very short leash. It's this radical idea of checks and balances, you could say.
Sounds incredibly unstable.
Well, yes. And then you have the cultural side, this romantic freeze.
What's that about?
It's fascinating. They physically transported the original Alamo.
With the actual Alamo from Earth.
Brick by Adobe Brick.
Mm.
Hauled it 42 light years to New Texas. Rebuilt it as their sacred center.
Wow.
And they've built their whole world and a whole social philosophy around it, so they're romanticizing the specific moment in history.
While using super advanced tech like tanks for cow herding.
Exactly. It's a total paradox. Looking backward and forward at the same time, it really tells you something about how cultures build identity, doesn't it? It's not always logical or linear.
Definitely a paradox.
Yeah.
And this is the place where Solar League ambassadors keep failing spectacularly.
Oh, yeah. The track record is grim. One went native, just joined them. One went hopelessly insane.
Yeah.
Another committed suicide. And the last one, Cumshaw, was murdered.
Not exactly encouraging for Silk.
Not remotely. It sets a pretty chilling precedent.
So how does Silk approach this? Does he try to like blend in, go low profile?
Oh, no. Quite the opposite. His official uniform is pure New Texan style. Ride cuffs, crazy colored shirt, high-heeled boots.
Okay, trying to fit in visually.
But then, the belt. Wide leather. And in quick draw, spring ejection holsters. 2 7mm Kryptana ultra-speed automatics. Top secret gear from State Department Special Services.
Whoa. So not blending in at all.
It's a deliberate provocation. The League is basically saying, we see your anarchy and assassination, and we brought our own guns.
He arrives ready for trouble. And trouble finds him immediately,
Right, instantly. His own embassy staff, Thrombly and Gomez, basically kidnap him off the landing field. They're terrified.
They can't have him, boy.
Just desperate to get him safely to the embassy compound. But they get chased by New Texas Rangers almost immediately. Chaos ensues.
Sounds like a typical Tuesday on New Texas.
Pretty much. But right in the middle of this chase, Silk shows his cool. He spots an assassination attempt on the new Texas president, John Hutchinson.
And stops it.
Stops it cold. Takes out the would-be assassin, a waiter hired by the cousin of a guy named Kettlebelly Sam Bonney.
Kettlebelly Sam Bonney. Remember that name?
Definitely. And this single act, Silk becomes instantly popular, more popular in the 8 hours since he landed than poor Mr. Cumshaw had been able to do in the 10 years he spent here.
Incredible. Talk about making an entrance.
And this leads to a really key insight, a real aha moment about their laws.
Okay, what is it?
Silk learns that on New Texas, killing a politician isn't automatically considered morally wrong, not malum in se wrong in itself.
It's not.
Nope. It's only legally wrong, malum prohibitorum, wrong because prohibited, if the politician basically got more than they deserved based on their actions.
More than they deserved. Who decides that?
Their unique court of political justice, they literally weigh the politician's actions against their fate.
That's bizarre. And how does this affect Silk?
Here's the kicker. Foreign diplomats, including Solar League ambassadors, they're considered practicing politicians under New Texan law.
Wait, so they're legitimate targets for political protest, like assassination?
Bingo. Diplomatic immunity, extraterritoriality means nothing here. It's a fundamental challenge, right? You assume diplomatic status is universal, but here, nope, justice is relative.
That completely changes the game.
Yeah.
So with this lovely legal backdrop, how does Silk even start looking into Cumshaw's murder?
He gets his team together. Thrombly, the nervous charge d'affaires, Space Commander Stonehenge, the military attaché, and Francisco Paros, the intel guy.
And what do they tell him?
They reveal that Cumshaw, after being quiet for 10 years, suddenly started pushing hard for New Texas to join the Solar League. And he was specifically calling out the Zisraf as the common enemy they needed protection from.
A big policy shift right before he's killed. Seems suspicious.
Extremely. And then Thrombly, maybe accidentally, maybe nervously, drops the bombshell.
What is it?
He admits he told the Zisraf ambassador, this guy Glove Lafard Despin Vuvuvu, that Cumshaw was heading out to Colonel Hickok's ranch.
When did he tell him?
Just 15 minutes after Cumshaw left, basically gave the assassins a perfect heads up, a direct link.
Okay, so the Zraf likely knew where Cumshaw would be. What about the actual killers, the Bonney brothers? How are they tied in?
The physical evidence is pretty damning. The murder weapon, a 20 auto rifle, and the getaway air car. They bought them from Zisraf merchants.
Legitimate purchases.
Hardly. One was a toy shop owner, the other sold dry goods. And the prices. 5 pesos for the rifle, 100 for the air car. Things worth way, way more.
Practically giveaways. So, hired guns.
Looks very much like it. Paid for by...
Well, let me guess. Kettlebelly Sam Bonney. The uncle.
You got it. 2 big anonymous deposits suddenly appear in his bank account right before Kumshall's murder, and also before that later attempt on President Hutchinson that Silk stopped.
How much money are we talking?
$250,000 pesos, then another 100,000. Untraceable benefactor. And that money went straight to the nephews. Classic setup.
So this Roth instigation, local muscle paid off through the uncle, seems clear. But there was something else. The watches.
Ah, yes. Stonehenge brings this up. Naval intelligence is apparently very interested in these Zisroff watches.
Why? What's special about them?
They're incredibly precise, powered by radium decay, and they're all synchronized back to the Zisroff capital planet, supposedly for religious observances.
Supposedly.
Yeah, Stonehenge has a grimmer theory. What if they're not just for prayers? What if they could signal something else, like a coordinated invasion fleet? Maybe a little electric shock, maybe a bell rings, simultaneously across the whole planet on every Zisroff wrist. Chilling thought, right? Religion used as a potential military trigger.
Deeply chilling. So, Silk puts all this together. The murder, the timing leak, the cheap weapons, the money trail, the watches. What's the final horrifying conclusion?
The Zisroff didn't just kill Kumshaw. They orchestrated it to look like a new Texan political assassination.
Why would they do that?
To create a pretext, a reason for the Solar League to get angry, to see New Texas as hostile and unstable, and maybe invade it themselves.
A false flag operation, basically, to trick the League into taking out New Texas for them.
Exactly. It puts the League in a terrible bind, a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If they retaliate, they play into the Zisroff's hands. If they don't, they look weak. Either way, the Zisroff benefit.
That is diabolical. And it leaves Silk in an utterly impossible spot, doesn't it? He's got these conflicting goals.
Completely impossible. One, he has to get the Bonnies tried in public to expose the Zisroff connection. That's crucial.
Okay.
2, he absolutely cannot let them be convicted in that court of political justice. Because if they are found guilty of a political killing,
Then the precedent is set.
right.
Diplomats are fair game under New Texan law. Immunity goes out the window.
Precisely. It would be a disaster for the League.
Yeah.
But 3, he still has to make sure the Bonnies are punished somehow, or the League loses face after its ambassador was murdered.
Expose the Zisroff, protect diplomatic immunity, and punish the killers without a conviction that undermines immunity. How does he even approach that?
It requires an incredibly audacious plan, a
Mhm.
real high-wire act. Silk decides to let the trial happen. He lets the prosecution go first.
Lets them build their case against the Bonnies.
Exactly. Led by this guy, Samuel Goodham, they present all the evidence forensics, witnesses like Longfellow proving the Bonnies pulled the trigger. Silk just lets it happen.
Playing a long game. Then the drama really starts when Silk gets involved.
Oh, yeah. He starts cross-examining, and he's not just going after the Bonnies. He's systematically exposing the Zisroff conspiracy right there in court. He calls the bank tellers. They detail those huge anonymous deposits into Kettlebelly Sam's account. Then, twist, he reveals the Bonnies' own defense lawyer, Clement Sidney.
No.
Yep. Also got a massive anonymous deposit, 200,000 pesos. Shows just how deep the rot goes.
Wow. Corrupt lawyer, too. And the Zisroff merchants. The ones who sold the weapons.
They're the stars of the show, really. Silk gets them on the stand. The toy seller, the dry goods guy.
And they admit it?
They admit selling the gear for those ridiculously low prices. But when Silk pushes further, asking why, they clam up. Plead self-incrimination.
Which basically screams guilt.
Absolutely. And then the Zisroff ambassador, Vuvuvu, who's observing the trial, starts making these frantic objections, trying to shut it down. It makes the Zisroff involvement completely undeniable to everyone in that courtroom.
The picture is becoming crystal clear for the court. The tension must be incredible. So Silk has laid it all out. Now what?
Now he makes his move, rises to address the court, and he drops the bombshell argument. He declares, basically, this court cannot convict these men. You have no jurisdiction. This wasn't political protest under your law. This was plain old first-degree murder by hired guns instigated by another government against our ambassador.
He's pulling the rug out from under their whole legal framework, isn't he?
Completely. He's saying, our diplomats are off limits. This was an international incident, a crime, not your local political squabble.
He asserts Solar League sovereignty and diplomatic inviolability.
How does the judge react?
Judge Nelson is stunned, obviously, but he has to admit Silk's argument has force. It's legally sound, even if it challenges their whole system.
So the court adjourns, deliberates. What's the verdict?
They come back. Judge Nelson delivers it. The Bonney brothers are Acquitted.
Acquitted after all that.
Acquitted of political assassination under New Texan law, which is exactly what Silk needed. Gail Hickok, the colonel's daughter, is furious, slaps Silk. The colonel is dismayed. People are confused.
But Silk just feels plain angry. But it's a focused anger. His mind is clear. Because the acquittal means his hands aren't tied by their local law anymore.
And then comes the climax.
The climax. Silk steps forward, looks right at the three Bonnies, and he says, nice and clear, you've been cleared of killing a politician, but you still have killing a Solar League ambassador to answer for.
Yep,
Then zip. Those quick draw holsters, he executes all three of them right there in the courtroom. Bang, 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 over in seconds.
just like that. Justice served, Solar League style.
Exactly. It upholds the League's prestige. They don't let assassins walk. It delivers justice. And critically, because the Bonnies were acquitted first, it doesn't set the precedent that diplomats can be legally targeted under local law. He threaded the needle perfectly.
Absolutely stunning move. But he's not done, is he? He immediately goes after the Zisroff ambassador.
Right away. No diplomacy, no protocol. Walks straight up to Vuvuvu and calls him Fido.
Oof. Deliberately insulting.
Totally. And tells him flat out, my government knows you ordered Kumshaw's murder. We know everything. And we're coming for the brains behind it. We'll devastate your whole star cluster if we have to. We don't let dogs snap at us, we shoot them.
Laying down the law. How does Vuvuvu react?
He just kind of slinks away. But as he does, Silk notices his watch face, that special Zisroff watch.
The synchronized one.
Yeah, normally it's white. Now it's glowing a bright ruby red.
The signal. The invasion is starting.
That's the chilling implication. The trigger has been pulled.
But the Zisroff are in for a nasty surprise, aren't they? Silk had another card up his sleeve.
The ultimate ace. Because before all this courtroom drama, Silk had secretly sent Space Commander Stonehenge off in a super-fast ship.
To do what?
To rendezvous with the Solar League's 5th Space Fleet, Task Force Red Blue Green under Admiral Tregaskis, and bring them close. Very close.
How close?
Within 60 light minutes of New Texas. Basically right on the doorstep, undetected.
So when the Zisroff fleet jumps in,
They arrive in complete ignorance that a massive League fleet is waiting for them. Their attack force, about 300 ships, flies right into a trap.
and the result.
A massacre. The League fleet just decimates them. The book says no more than 20 got back to Zisroff cluster. Total annihilation of the invasion force.
Wow. So Silk didn't just solve the murder and the legal problem. He preempted and crushed the invasion too.
He really did. Pulled off all three impossible objectives.
So let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? Stephen Silk, this Machiavelli Jr., sent out basically to die,
Right, as a sacrificial lamb.
manages to pull off this incredible series of moves. He exposes the whole conspiracy, defends his government's honor, protects that vital principle of diplomatic immunity, and prevents a massive war.
It's a masterclass in strategy and ruthless pragmatism. He understood the rules, all the rules, written and unwritten, and knew exactly when and how to break them or use them to his advantage.
And what happens after? New Texas joins the League.
Yes, the Palm Suck Annexation Treaty gets signed. New Texas joins, but, and this is key, with guarantees that the League won't interfere in their unique political methods. Assassination stays off the books, technically.
So they maintain some of their independence. And Silk.
He actually stays on New Texas, marries Gail Hickok, the colonel's daughter who slapped him earlier.
Marries her. Okay.
And stays involved in politics there, often opposing Solar League policies himself, apparently with an almost uncanny prescience. He really went native, in a way, but on his own terms.
Fascinating end for him. So this whole deep dive, it really drives home that in these complex systems, knowledge isn't just power, it's about understanding the whole system, right?
Exactly. The culture, the laws, the hidden motives, the technology, everything.
Yeah.
And then having the nerve to make a bold move when you see the opening. Silk didn't just react, he reshaped the entire board.
It definitely makes you think.
And it leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? For you to maybe mull over. In our own complex, interconnected world, what does it really take for a unique culture or even just an individual to hold onto their freedom and identity when faced with larger forces?
And maybe, how far can or should someone go, bending or breaking the rules to make sure their idea of justice or security actually wins out?
Yeah, where are those lines? Something to think about until our next deep dive.